Hello again from RV Maintenance and Mechanical Things. This is my 2004. This is called a surge tank, which failed on me. I don't know if you can really see in this video, but you can see how this seam is deteriorating. Well, I guess this is a reasonably priced one since I just got this from Freightliner. And this is what a new one looks like. I don't know if that's actually the part number, but they say I should feel fortunate. It was only like $63 from Freightliner, but as you can see from the shape of things here, looks like it should be a real treat putting this in, since what I see here is probably only about a sixth of the actual unit. So we're going to go inside and start digging to figure out how we're going to put this in. I was climbing grades coming into Albuquerque. It was 3,800 miles of my 3,900 mile trip, and I got a little white light, a little water warning light came on and a buzzer, and that apparently is here on the back of the reservoir, and it's pretty close to that seam. So I stopped, I put water in. I was running maybe 210 degrees on the thermostat. Didn't have it towed, just had a couple bikes on the back, and so I added up, wasn't a lot, but then another 50 miles it went off again. So what I did is this radiator, it's a pressurized tank, it's a 16-pound cap, and I just backed it off half turn and watched my temperature. They say one of the things you need to do pulling a grade in the hot summertime is you might have to downshift to keep the engine RPMs up. I don't recall if mine were, but I think it's something I'll watch in the future. I did notice that when I had my, I don't know what else to show you while I'm doing my audio here, but I do know when I had my fifth wheel and I had a diesel with a 6-way switch in it, that if I left it on cruise control, I'd develop too much boost. I got as high as 30 pounds of boost on that thing. What I learned to do later on after 5,600 miles and 3 trips was to take it off cruise when I got into a grade and just run on foot throttle. I liked it a lot better. It shifted lower, it kept the RPMs lower, and it kept the boost lower. So you might have to learn a couple tricks while operating your RV in the hills. So I'm going to go to the inside and see what we have to do to access this. Another RV maintenance and mechanical things tip for you is just because it's on Amazon doesn't mean that's where you're getting your best price. I bought this at the Freightliner dealer for under $40. I just changed 5 gallons of Delvac in my transmission and paid online $261 for 4 gallons. So quick math tells you that's over $80 a gallon is what I spent on Amazon. I needed another gallon. Anyway, I had the quarts or the fill wrong. I got from Walmart at $60-some a gallon. So to my surprise, Lone Star Truck Shops, there's 12 of them in Texas and New Mexico, has this for 40 bucks. And Camping World had it for 45. I couldn't locate it, so I bought it online. Well, now I know where to get it. Now you do. This is an oil filter. It's a lube finer oil filter. I used a Wix on my first 2 oil changes. This coach I got wasn't very well maintained, so I'm doing oil samples and I'm having to early change the oils. Transmission came out pretty good. The generator was fair. The motor was poor. So we did it early oil change on that. This lube finer, which is a brand name truck filter, that's what they use, cost me almost $20 online. It cost me less than 10 bucks. So that was like, say, 50% on that. buying it at the dealer. Strange, huh? And then this is Alliance, which is Freightliner truck parts. This is the fuel filter. I bought a Wix, and it has a fuel bowl that goes on the bottom of it. So fuel water separator, fuel filter. And it was only like $2 cheaper. I also do oil samples. I use a private lab, and they were about $2 cheaper on their oil sample kits. I got these kits that I put oil samples in, and then I send in for oil analysis. Having semis in the past, I had to do that for warranty and for keeping my warranty in effect. And I learned that if I oil sampled, I was able to actually extend my oil change interval by a couple thousand miles per oil change. And when you're putting 12 gallons of oil in a motor, it adds up a little bit. So some more tips for you. This is a key used to unlock the hatches and some of the outside access panels as well. You can get spares on Amazon. I don't know if there's other places. Probably Camping World to get them, but so anyway, I've had these hatches off in the past, but fortunately I haven't had to do any engine work. So the key goes in here to unlock this one. You know, actually it goes in here to unlock this one too, I guess. Thought I was going to have just a swing knob on this one, and it came up easier than I thought it would. One of the tips that they give you for working on, you know, for taking your RV out of storage and that, so it looks like the tank's accurate, is that you want to check for animals, and you probably won't go so far as to open up these access panels, but I'm kneeling on the one hatch that now you're going to be looking upside down. Accesses the rear of that motor, and I found scat and bones from some animal that had lunch sitting on top of a nice warm engine block. Let me see if I can get some more light on the situation here. Another thing I guess I can make you aware of is when I was at Freightliner, the dealer wants $135 an hour to work on a semi, but they want $165 an hour to work on an RV, where Camping World wants $129 an hour to work on an RV. So this is a tank. It doesn't look too bad, other than these two bolts are accessible, and I gotta find the other bolt, so I'm gonna need two hands. So I'll update you when I get a little further along. Thanks for looking. So here's the next installment on the surge tank replacement. These wires I have pulled down just because the board's looking a little bare, and I'm gonna paint it. And then the other thing I'm gonna do is where these screws are, I'm gonna probably put an L bracket because this backside's got no support. This light I added, I don't know if I showed that on another video, but when you turn on your bay lights, that activates this one. They had a smaller one. This gives out more light. I use that one on, like that on my diesel pickup too. I like it. So what I was back here doing is I disconnected this hose, and then this tank has two ears on this side, so I pulled this loose, took the screws out of it so I can move it. Oops, sorry, thing's knocking me around a little bit, but I wanted to see how I was going to access these bolts that are inside here. Now if I can find where I put my light, I might be able to show you that a little bit. Now, at any rate, cut to the chase. The bolts apparently aren't in it because it's loose. Later on, hopefully I'll be able to give you a better shot, which I think is a good thing because I don't see how you could access them two side bolts. I'll show you on the other tank when I get inside to unhook the other hoses. But took the screws out of this flap so I could see in here, but that's as far as it goes before you run into these rivets. For getting that out, so I guess that's how come the dealer charges $165 an hour to work on these things, because you got to teach yourself every step of the way. You'd think you'd give them a discount because you get more hours in. Stay tuned. Might be a good idea, since you're working in your master bedroom, to cover the mattress. Ours has a mattress pad on it, but I've got marks on that already. So basically, let me get a light, I guess, so we can see things a little bit better. These are the 2 bolts I have to take out of the 4 that hold the tank in. Those are the only 2 that are hooked up. And then there's the low sensor. There's the big return hose right there. And then I don't know where these other 2 hoses go, but I'm guessing we don't want to mix them up. I got a picture of the front where I disconnected the front hoses. Then the next thing is see if this thing's actually going to fit out through this hole. That'll be fun. The petcock, I drained the antifreeze down. Looks like I might want to drain some more. You can see that. Yeah, there you go. It's pretty obvious outside. I guess I'll take a quick shot of that and drain some more antifreeze, or I'll be losing more than I thought I would. Back in a while. Hope that thing fits in a hole. To my surprise, this thing came out from the back here, not through the hole. It's a beautiful 90-degree day in New Mexico, so I got the AC running. Luckily I got a hookup for that. And this is the little water sensor that came out of there. I was going to put Teflon tape on it, but it doesn't look like they did. It's got like a silicone gasket on it, so I'm just going to put that in. The other thing I like to do is, before I get done, I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to mark the date on this tank where it's visible is when it went in, because I don't know, it almost looks to me like this tank's been replaced once already. And what gives me that idea is, well, it looks like it's going to be hard to get this thing in straight. What gives me that idea is the fact that they had lock washers on the top here and flat washers on the bottom with a self-locking nut. So you wouldn't use a lock washer with a self-locking nut. And I like to see a big washer on this surface. And so that's what I'm going to do. And they had no bolts on this side, which is a good thing, because I don't think I could have figured out how to get them out. So I'm going to try and get the sender in straight, and I'll give you another shot of it when I got it up in the hole. So here we have it installed. Comes in from the outside. Just have to hook up the hoses. Got one here, got 2 over here to hook up. One goes here, and then the other one goes on the outside. Got the big main hose right here, and then over there, right here, is a sensor. So we'll hook that up right now, and I'll bring you up to date when I get to the outside.